Test, 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 test. Ooh. Wiggy wiggy.
Oh yeah, baby!
What up, Matt?
Happy Saturday.
Oh, that's not Matt. That's John.
Yeah, I beat him.
You won. I'm
never first.
I'm never used to. I'm not used to this. I apologize.
What's up, gentlemen?
What's that?
Hello.
I like that they cut this lead to 14. Good for them.
Yeah, nice fight.
Show some fight.
Yeah, I appreciated that. Actually, I did appreciate that because I don't think the Lakers thought that. Like when it was a 30-point game, like they're like, "Oh yeah, we're done."
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We know how the Bulls are. You know, they get down by this, they quit. They're done, and they didn't quit. Like they're still playing.
They do not quit.
I actually like that in them.
Team.
And I'm not the moral victory person. I'm sure you guys aren't either. I think we've had that discussion. But yeah,
come on. You know I'm all about moral victories, Dave.
Oh, Matt, yes. Oh, picking flowers and moral victories is Matt Peck all day long. Pick 'em Peck is what I call him.
Sunshine and rainbows, baby.
Oh, pick 'em Peck, my favorite. But yeah, man, like I just like the fact they're still competing because it's just not something we saw last year. Like when they were down, they were done. Didn't really matter the score. When they were down, they were done.
Right.
It's still not great.
No. No, John. I hope you didn't take any of that for what I said. I really hope you took none of that for what I said, man.
They're a good team, man.
It's the full strength Lakers.
Yeah.
On the second night of our back-to-back.
Like
the Lakers are so, and they're a tier unto themselves.
Truly. Like we felt good about playing this Lakers team evenly when it was LeBron and the other role players, but no AD. And then tonight, I was really glad because it was like LeBron and AD, one of them was probable and one of them was questionable coming into tonight. I can't remember which one was which, but I really
LeBron was questionable.
I really wanted both of them to play because I wanted to see what would happen.
I love that because you want to see what we have.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
And what we have is a team that, yes, can beat a depleted Mavericks roster, can beat a, disheveled and trying to figure out their post-Harden life Rockets team, and you could beat a mediocre at best Charlotte Hornets squad, and you could do that in 3 consecutive games. Good for you. Even that in itself is a building block because the Bulls had like damn near 200 games or whatever without with 1 3-game winning streak coming into this season.
That's amazing.
So of course, like a 4-game winning streak and getting that 4th win in a row against LeBron and AD and the defending champs on the second night of a back-to-back, like come on guys, we got to take our time with some of these steps of progress.
This season is so weird too.
I mean, isn't it kind of going like you thought this would go?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't this the outcome we kind of assumed was going to be?
No. I mean, okay. I knew we'd get handled. I think I just was expecting
better,
not just like that.
30 points. And I think John, I mean, it wouldn't have been that ugly. It was just a night where, for whatever reason, the Bulls' shots weren't falling. They were getting good looks in the first half, and just everybody was just tossing up bricks.
We can't shoot, and I think this is what's unfortunately shooting matters so much. And I do think we have suboptimal shooting. Who was our best shooter? Zach,
right?
Who's second? I think in theory it's Lowry.
In theory, but I mean, the
Denzel
as a team this season have been shooting lights out, and especially behind the 3-point line. They have 7 or 8 guys on their roster who are shooting above 38% from downtown right now, which is crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it was just honestly, as T. Foolery just said in the chat, live by the 3, die by the 3. The Bulls didn't make a 3 until that weird corner 3 that Pat Williams hit with 5:30 left in the third quarter. And he had that awkward step forward.
Nice.
That was the first 3 the Bulls made after starting 0 of 13.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, pull it. Yeah, dude, you got to take that shot.
Ooh.
Can't do that, Denzel.
T. Foolery says it's unsustainable. Okay, I think the lights-out shooting that the Bulls have had so far this season has been a pleasant surprise. I wouldn't necessarily say that Billy Donovan's style of offense and all of these amazing games that we've seen from the Bulls is an unsustainable strategy. I would say that the fact that the Bulls are right now on pace to break the franchise record for points per game, that in so many offensive categories, this is a top 10 Bulls offense in the NBA crazy. Right now. That is, if they continue to execute it the way that they should, it is sustainable. It might come down a little bit, but tonight wasn't coming down a little bit. Tonight was, holy crap, we've been shooting the lights out, and bam, there's the thud.
And we played pretty much the best defensive team in the NBA. And like you said, it's the team who's elite. This is the world champions. And you're asking best shooters. You can argue that who you dealt Mr. Fourth Quarter, Otto Porter Jr., and him not being out there. That's going to affect your shooting also when you got that guy that's not ready to play. So, I mean, you're missing some offense tonight. You are. I said it early on Twitter that Wendell Carter Jr. was truly going to be missed tonight because at least it's going Anthony Davis honest. But him not being out there, he's like, oh, cool, I don't have to do anything. You knew that was going to go down. So you kind of saw that missing some offense.
Trying to guard AD is better than Felicio being tasked with doing that.
I yelped when I saw that.
4 points. 4 points, Felicio.
Guys, did you hear the excitement in our boy Adam Amin's voice when he called that Felicio putback? Because it was the greatest part about tonight. He screamed Felicio like I would sarcastically scream Felicio on our show whenever he got into a game.
It was good. I like what you said. He was like, I love his screen, but it also shows you how the first quarter went for the Chicago Bulls. I'm like,
they
yes,
had 19 points like 4 minutes into the second quarter.
Yeah. It was bad,
just
all around.
Bad offensive night. And
bad offensive night, back-to-back, best defensive team in the league.
That's recipe for disaster.
It's a recipe for disaster. But early on, also, they didn't do themselves any favors by missing layups and wide open threes. There were quite a few threes in that first quarter.
Everything.
That I was wide open. They were, especially Lowry. He was wide open, and he just clanging them. And I was like, "Yep, this is not going to be the night." like you just felt like, nope, this is over. It's not going to be the night.
Not that Matt said best thing to happen is seeing them attacking the rim in the second half. Good work, Billy. Yeah, I think that was interesting. I think it was our pal Cameron Smith who tweeted at halftime, like, if you're Billy Donovan, what do you say? Because you're down 63-33 at halftime. Awesome. Like, game is essentially over. But as a coach with a young team, how do you get them to come back in the second half and keep playing and to maybe do some things better? And that was one of the things that the Bulls did better in this, that they have done better in the second half, is continue to trust that moving the ball and finding the open shooter or finding the open pass to get a look in the paint at the rim. Trust what you have been doing with your offense that has been working this season. Don't get too down on yourself, and shots will start to fall. And they have gotten some good looks in the paint. And after, I think they only tallied like 1 or 2 assists as a team in the first half. That's how badly things were going. That's how many shots they were missing. They have gotten good looks here in the third and into the fourth quarter by just trusting that, hey, our system works. We just need to keep doing what we're doing and trust that, instead of packing things in, if we keep fighting, we might be able to, if not win this game, claw back and make it a game.
John, can you please tell us about your
This is my friend CJ's new company. He used to work for House of Highlights and Bleacher Report, and he's starting something called Follow Through. It's like sports media. It's a cool website. So it's Follow Through LA on Twitter and followthrough.studio on Instagram, I think. But go to the website. If you type in, let's find it right now. I'm on a machine.
Yeah.
It's a really cool, and it's like they got Josiah Jenkins, god of NBA Twitter, working for it. It's got a good like cast of people, and they're doing like sports media social for the NBA. And it's my first Chicago friend. His name was CJ at Follow Through LA, and followthrough.studio is the website. It's cool as hell. Check it out. But he just started it, and so he sent this to some people. It was really nice of him. So
I mean, we met him too. We didn't get any hats.
I know.
I don't know, Matt. I don't know if you got a hat. I mean, I know I didn't. See,
no,
you didn't get one?
I'll check.
Oh, okay.
I'll check.
I mean, this is a free hat that I'm wearing right now. But
that's one of my favorite hats too. I was looking at hats online, and then I was like, "What am I doing?" Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, is it?
Like, who are you, me?
Exactly. Like, I was looking at Karen's like, you just got to get one like that Bulls hat. Like, she was like, that's the kind of hat. Like, that's like the coolest hat. I was like, I know, right? I found a Mavs hat that I thought was tie-dye, and she was like, honey, that's camo. And she's like, I think if you wear a camo hat, it's going to, like, say something about you. and it was like January 7th, and I was like, I think you're right.
Yeah. Just like at any point when you see a picture of somebody or see somebody in public that has a red hat of any kind, you're like, oh, God.
Dude, ruined red hats. Red is my favorite color. It's my favorite color. And just ruined it. Completely ruined red hats.
Here's, like, you cannot have this mustache, but anymore, you cannot wear red hats. Like, those are the same things.
Oh.
I like those. I like his Laker uniforms, too.
I do, too.
I like them a lot.
I do too, man. Like I like them. I really do.
Also,
like them.
Surprise!
I know you don't like anything.
If you're right,
we had like them back. I'd be like, okay, I got to rethink this because you don't like anything.
Yeah, we'd have to regroup. Yeah, we have to huddle and talk about this. If you were like, I love those jerseys.
You like order. You like order.
It does just make sense in the Minneapolis Lakers kind of way,
like
as in like, oh yeah, no, lakes are blue. Lakes aren't purple and yellow. Lakes are blue.
It's the color. That's what it's supposed to be, though. It's like purposeful, right?
The pen is blue.
The pen is blue.
The goddamn pen is
Also,
blue.
you guys, don't you love how like Otto Porter Jr. They were like, we can't even rest. Like we couldn't even think of a fake like quad strain.
So what Donovan said before today's game is that in the earlier part of the season when they did play Otto in a back-to-back set of games, that's when his whole like sore back flare-up or back spasm flare-up thing happened.
Yeah.
So Donovan's like, all right, we're going to try to avoid the back spasm flare-ups by not playing in back-to-back games, which is like, okay, yes, that's logical, but also it's like, this dude's 27 years old. You say rest on the second night of a back-to-back, it's like, oh yeah, old man Otto's got a sore back, and he's like, dude, you're 27.
He's 27. I think of him as like.
You think of him more as the like Thad Young, Garrett Temple
as like
age.
A tree from Lord of the Rings. Yeah, like
because he's a part of this, vet bench mob. Because our average age in our starting lineup, our starting five, when normal and healthy, is 22.
He's 2 years older than Zach. He feels like, young man, let me tell you how it is. When you were a sophomore, I was a senior. Like,
wait, what?
That is so. We are 18 months. We are Irish twins.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yeah, Irish twins are like when you have like kids back to like 9 months,
like back
like
to back.
10 months apart, like, or you know what, like.
So it's like, okay, baby born, and then like conceive next baby 2 weeks.
Yeah, because Irish people, like it's Irish. They all have huge families. Like,
no, I come from a huge family. I'm trying
Irish,
to think.
You might have Irish. You might have Irish twins.
Maybe my sister and I, because we are, 18
that's
months apart?
Less than 2 years.
All right.
Less than 2 years, I think, is an Irish twin, technically.
My nieces are 22 months apart.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, less than 2 years apart.
Irish twin. All right. I can't wait to tell her.
T. Foolery said fans loved Kobe last year. Now they're hard on him. Now Pat Williams can do no wrong. The youngest kid always gets all the love.
They did not love him last year.
As the youngest kid in my family, I object to that because the youngest kid sometimes just gets ignored.
Dave's the youngest, right?
Yeah, I am the youngest. And my brothers and sisters would tell you that I got it awesome.
Well,
and I'm here to tell you, if you think I got it awesome, it lets you know how hard it was growing up here in my house. And they're right. Like, they're right on some levels. They're right. I was the first one to get a video game system. They weren't allowed in my house. I was the very first one to get it. So yeah, stuff like that. That's called, man, he got everything he wanted. Like, I got a video game system. Like, you know what normal kids usually get. Sure. You know, this video game.
My older brother always says he fought the war and I got the parade.
I love that.
Like, he pushed all of the boundaries. He drove my parents insane with his, adolescent antics. And then by the time the third kid rolled around, my parents were like, fucking whatever. We don't care.
I've never heard that, and I love that.
Yeah.
I will be saying that the rest, like, that is like a saying of like, hey, you know what I heard one time?
Yeah. He fought the war.
I want, you know what I heard on the hot mic guest link one time?
That is excellent. That's excellent. Man. Seriously. To your brother, man.
I have a question I'm going to ask you guys in a second, but I'm going to get a refill. So talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Do it up. Meanwhile, Lakina said, as being the youngest, I can vouch. My older siblings always say our mother played favorites.
Yeah, they always say that.
Wait, Lakina, was that a typo? Did you meant to say play favorites instead of paid favorites? Like your mother gave money to certain siblings and not others? Okay, yes. Lakina corrected it with played favorites.
Oh, that's no fun. That's not fun. That's not fun. I'm gonna go with paid just because it's more fun.
Who
paid him? You're my favorite.
Who would you rather have as your center, Anthony Davis or Jokic? I'll be back.
Oh my god!
He walks away.
Dave, did you catch that Suns Nuggets game, the late game from last night
I
on
didn't.
ESPN?
No, I didn't catch it.
After we wrapped up our shtick, I was like, oh, what else is on? And then I caught the end of the Blackhawks game. Shout out to the Blackhawks for getting their first victory of their season last night. And then after that, I was like, all right, more sports. I need more sports. I wasn't ready to go to bed yet. And I was like, ooh, Nuggets Suns, close game, late on ESPN. Hell yeah. I watched the fourth quarter and overtime of that Suns Nuggets game, and I am obsessed with Nikola Jokic. I mean, like, I have been for years, but like last night's Nuggets Suns game was a refresher course for me because I haven't watched that many Nuggets games yet this season. And as far as John's question of AD versus Jokic, like AD's a machine. Let's just say, AD has 37 on 14 of 21 tonight. Yeah, he's amazing. I freaking love Jokic, and I'm tempted to take Jokic over AD.
I don't think that's a like you're like going against the grain or something. I mean, he's averaging like a triple.
He's leading
like,
the league in assists.
Right. Okay.
He's the center.
Right. It's not crazy. Right. It's not crazy.
He's 7 feet tall. He weighs 300 pounds, and he leads the league in assists.
Wilt was the last person center to do that.
Well, what a dominant back.
So here's a question for you then. So I think I think Davis is probably like the right if you're trying to win a championship. I think Jokic is if you have a love for basketball and you're just like, but
yes,
Jokic. If you put Jokic on those New Orleans teams, I actually I think they do better. I think I don't see much difference between this Denver team and AD's New Orleans teams. That much difference,
right?
And so that makes me think,
I think it's fair to say that AD never had, and maybe I'm disrespecting Drew Holiday here, but I don't think that AD ever had the caliber of point guard that Jokic has with Jamal Murray. As
that's
Jamal
what I was
Murray
about to
has
say.
blossomed
That's exactly,
into a star-level
that's exactly
player.
what I was about to say. That's exactly what I was about to say.
I think Jamal. I think Murray and Holiday are closer than
Not like that, bro.
Holiday's good, man.
He's good, but Murray is. I'm scoring 55 today.
In the bubble.
I mean, in the playoffs is what the playoffs is. Sir.
They all were scoring 55, 57.
Dude, you could call it bubble or not. Hero. I mean, if you can disrespect this season, there's nobody in the stadium, but you're still honoring his triple doubles. It's the same thing. You got to give him honor.
I'm telling you that much.
He's balling, man. They're gonna play in the bubble again.
They better.
But I mean, that would be like taking away Donovan Mitchell's 50. I'm not taking away his.
I'm not
50
taking
either.
away. I think they're closer than we think. Is what I'm saying. I don't think there's that much of a.
I don't think
that much of. They both have never been all-stars.
T. Foolery says he votes for Anthony Davis because he plays both sides of the ball. Chris said AD is the second best player in the league, so I'm going with AD.
That's fair.
Not that Matt says Joker, he plays more.
Ooh.
AD injury issues maybe being factored in here.
AD's really good, though.
Lakita says, I'd take AD, but can I get Jokic off the bench? No, you can't take Jokic off the bench. He's got a super team.
The question was literally one thing. Do you want one or do you want one? Which one?
Yes. Yes, that's the answer. Yes. Dub agrees with you, John. He says they're close.
I think they're closer than we think. I think Murray's better because he's a better offensive player, and I think that matters more.
Yeah, I think that's what I put more value.
I think you're right.
In.
I think you're right.
And I'm only using the argument of him being on New Orleans. That's what only thing I'm looking at right now. And I think that's what plays and changes things. If he had a Jamal Murray that he could just pass it to and say, "Okay, dude, go win the game for me because they're triple teaming me. Go win." I think Jamal Murray is more apt to do that than Holiday was.
At one point he had Boogie and Holiday as their best three, right?
Mm-hmm. Boogie, and Rondo was on there.
Is that I'm trying to think? Is that as good as Michael Porter Jr.? Whatever the top three of Denver is. Also, trade that man for Bradley Beal tomorrow. How have they not done this?
Who, MPJ?
Yeah.
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 He's got to get his own team.
Get rid of that dude and get. They need help
team.
right now. They might not make the playoffs, Denver. Like
right. Michael Porter Jr. was out there in the Denver Nuggets, like unexpected deep Western Conference playoff run, saying like, "I need more shots." And it's like, Jokic and Murray are out here crushing people, and you're saying you need more shots. Also, I still think that those medical reports that we got in MPJ's draft, like combine months leading up to the draft, that's coming back. And that's why I was not, one of the Bulls fans who was like, you got to swing for the fences with Michael Porter Jr. I was like, dude, this guy's got back problems when he's, 20 years old? No. If I could get Bradley Beal for a package that was centered around Michael Porter Jr., if I'm the Nuggets, I'm doing that yesterday.
I don't get it. I don't get why they don't.
Bradley Beal's leading the league in scoring, for goodness sake.
He's averaging like 35, right?
Mm-hmm. He is.
And everybody got COVID in DC.
Well, yeah, because all the red hat people showed up.
The timing is crazy. Like, all these people flew in, and they're like, yeah, everyone's got it.
Shocking.
Like, hey, wait a minute.
Hey, could there be?
This is the longest fourth quarter ever. Come on, guys.
Burke said Jamal Murray just hit a big three to get Denver versus Phoenix into OT.
Oh, John, please tell me about the Mavericks.
We got smoked, man. By 30, we're down by 30 or something now.
Oh my God! Who they playing?
Rockets. Yeah, it's over. Wow. 133 to 108. It got to 73-76.
Wow.
And then
what Luka do?
Luke.
So Nuggets Suns went OT back-to-back nights. That's awesome.
That's so fun. They're so fun.
Oh my God! Look at Felicio.
Oh yeah. It's 128-106 Rockets over the Mavs right now with less than a minute left in the fourth.
I think it's over. It's ended.
Is it over now?
Luka at 26, 8, and 5 coming back in.
Oh my God! Wait, guys, Felicio grew a stash to go with the Amish beard.
That's what I just said. I was just trying to point that out. Yes.
I actually kind of like the stash.
I like the stash. I hate the beard. I like the stash. The stash makes him look like Martin Luther King.
Oh my God! How dare you?
Okay.
I love it.
Take a look at it.
I love it.
I feel like me saying, wait, okay, and John saying, how dare you, to our one black friend over here.
Yeah, exactly why I'm like, yeah, I'm right. That's exactly what I said. I'm exactly right. I guess I'm like, yep, I'm right. Oh, both of y'all?
We have
good.
no
yep,
leg to stand on. We also are just like trying to we're like, we're cool.
Yeah.
No,
you think
we mess up sometimes.
You think it's
but man, he does look like Arthur.
Get a look at him. That's who he. Thank you, John. Like,
he really does. He really does.
Like, get a look.
Oh my God, good for him. I have a dream that he'll get on a new team. Oh my God, my cousin texted me. Who's like the man in Mulan who like falls in love with Mulan? Yeah, but that guy, that cartoon. My cousin
I don't know the
character name. Sent me a picture of him, and I was like, "Who's this?"
Wait, why is Donny Osmond in Mulan?
Because
he's
America.
The singing voice for that character for that song, "I'll Make a Man Out of You." That's Donny Osmond.
He did Joseph. He got nominated for Tony. Anyway, we don't have time, but he sent me.
Oh, we have.
He sent me a picture of that. I was like, "Who's this?" And he was like, "It's Ryan Archidakis." It's like he lives in Dallas. Like the fact that he even knows who that guy is crazy to me. He's like, it's Ryan Arch's man bun.
Was it because of the Archie top knot? Is that why?
It's the same thing. I was like, that's so funny.
Although Archie is not Asian, as far as
no, but neither is Donny Osmond.
Also true.
He is famously Mormon.
Famously,
like when they're like, "Who's the most famous Mormon?" At a time, it was like the Osmonds. That's it. That's all we had.
It's true.
Unless you founded the religion, the only one I can think of.
And now the Mormons can claim Andrew Reynolds.
No, but Mitt.
Probably actually not. because he was just in a musical that made fun
Who's
of
the
Mormons.
biggest Mormons athlete?
Oh,
I don't
good
know.
question. I'm gonna go
Who's
look
the
it
best
up.
athlete to come out of BYU who's actually
Oh,
Mormon
Danny Ainge.
in recent years?
Danny Ainge?
Wait, Danny?
Isn't he Mormon? He wants to.
All right. We got Sean Bradley.
Oh, Bradley.
We got Jeff Kent.
Jimmer?
Todd Christensen.
Not that Matt said Romney. I'm pretty sure Romney's not.
Oh, yeah,
an
but
athlete.
Romney's the most famous Mormon, I think. It was
This
like
can't be
Julie.
true.
Julie from the Real World New Orleans is like 5th all time. Like she's like in the Mormon power ranking.
Okay.
I do not
Oh,
know who that is at all.
You'll find.
wow.
You'll Google her. Like, oh, her.
Okay, these are people who were raised Mormon. I don't know if this is true, but they got Bryce Harper.
Yo,
down
Bryce
here.
Harper. That's it. That's a.
Oh, Burke throwing out Jimmer
Yeah,
Fredette.
Jimmer Fredette. Steve Young.
NBA not
Steve
legend
Young.
Jimmer
It's
Fredette.
Steve Young because I think Steve Young practices.
Oh yeah.
Jack Dempsey.
Really?
Like he was raised Mormon.
That's cool.
And you're right, Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge was raised.
There you
They
go,
should.
John.
Now let's do we should do every religion. All Catholic.
All Catholic. Oh yeah, let's look that up.
Best Catholic athlete. Like
Joe Biden.
You know what?
Joe Biden's the second Catholic president ever.
yeah, JFK was first.
JFK. Yep, sure. was.
You know what? Muslim would win. I think you've got Muhammad Ali. You've got Kareem.
Hakeem.
Dude. If I
wait, but Catholics. I mean, y'all killing it though. I mean, you got Tom
Brady's
Brady.
Catholic.
I mean, Tom Brady. I mean, are you shocked about this?
You forget about
you
Giselle. She's Brazilian. That makes sense.
You got Brett
Brett
Favre.
Favre is Catholic.
You got Joe DiMaggio.
Joe's
DiMaggio.
Catholic.
Dominique
Ooh,
Dawes.
that's a shock.
Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant
Was Catholic.
Mm-hmm. Kobe was Catholic.
Italy.
Vince Lombardi.
Mm-hmm. Lombardi.
Chris
Yeah,
Mullin.
Chris Mullins for sure. Do you know Kobe was Catholic, Peck?
Yeah, no, I think I did know that.
I didn't know that.
It's like not a
Babe
thing that
Ruth?
was talked about a lot, but well, guys, that's it. Thankfully, the final
It's over.
score is respectable, 101-90. The Bulls' winning streak ends at 3 as they fall to the Lakers on the second night of a back-to-back. We are the Bulls Outcasts. This is the Stretch 4. Thanks for hanging out with us here on Hot Mic. Maybe you're catching us over on that BAWL on Bulls YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe to that channel. And also, of course, anywhere you get your podcasts, we will distill all of these live episodes into podcast form across that BAWL on Bulls podcast network. So check that out. I'm Matt. That's John. That's Big Dave. Guys, before we break down tonight's game, real quick, I wanted to give a shout-out to our boy, the unsung hero of that show we used to do over there on NBC called Outsiders, our friend Kevin Bulldawg Anderson. Happy birthday, Bulldawg, guys. I wish we were at the studio at NBC watching the Bulls lose to LeBron with our friend Bulldawg right now.
And please forget all this because he hates when people talk about his birthday. So please forget all of this this happened right now.
Bulldawg, this is the way. This is the way.
I mean, of course he hates his birthday. He's a dad in his 40s. Like I feel like that's just standard birthday behavior for somebody. Twins. And twins. All right. So happy birthday, Bulldawg. We love you. We miss you, buddy. Everybody who is here hanging out on this Hot Mic app or on BAWL on Bulls YouTube right now, because you enjoy hanging out with us and what we do, our friend Bulldawg, our executive producer for Outsiders, is responsible for all of the success of that show. And we love him. We miss him. So that being said, guys, my hopes were not super high coming into tonight's game, getting that elusive 4-game winning streak, especially when we heard LeBron and AD were both going to play. Second night of a back-to-back for the Bulls. But like you were saying, John, earlier, we kind of hoped that it would be closer than this. And it was just one of those nights where problems compiling upon problems. No Wendell and no Otto. So the Bulls are shorthanded. Gafford gets into early foul trouble. Anthony Davis is his dominant self. Meanwhile, the Bulls can't hit water if they fall out of a boat on the offensive end, and it all of a sudden you blink and you're down
30. Mm-hmm. I mean, truly, I really don't blame them. Like, it's the Lakers. It's this season is so weird. There's been so many blowouts, like games that have been over at halftime, that like I just think people like. Did they come out and like give a puncher's chance like they've been doing? No. And I think I'm okay with like this almost feels like a scheduled loss. It just happens to be against the best team on the planet.
Yeah.
Like we would have lost this game if it was anyone above average, I feel like.
Yeah, there's something different to, like we were saying earlier, the Mavs win, the Rockets win, the Hornets win. They were good wins, and they were wins where your team is like racking up 25, 30, 33 assists. Your offense is humming. Everybody's knocking down shots. You're sharing the ball. You got multiple players in double figures from your starting unit and your bench. And then you play the defending champs. And you're like, oh, right. Okay. We still have a long way to
go. Yeah. You know where you stand when you're playing them full strength. And that's why when we played them the first time, people were so excited that we were even close and it looked respectable, and LeBron was upset because the Bulls were close, and everybody was kind of happy about it because it's the Lakers. So, but they weren't full strength, but you were still like, wow, the Bulls played them tough. Like, this was good. We appreciate that. You knew coming in full strength that they were going to take that personally, and they wanted to make a statement. And what I just liked is they made their statement early. And they were like, okay, we're done. And the Bulls are like, no, we're still going to keep playing. Mm-hmm. And I just like, what final score? 101-90. Like, honestly, I didn't think it would be that right. After that kind of start. Like you said, Gafford in foul trouble. They were 0 of 11 from the 3-point line, man, until like, the third quarter? Like, yeah, they struggled this game. Everybody really struggled. Nobody played great. But they kept playing. Like, that's honestly what I took from this. I was like, they kept playing, and I just remember when they would quit and just not play when they would get down by 7, like a quick 7-0 run, and they would like, okay, we're done. So, yeah, I just appreciate the fact they made it respectable.
Yeah, I mean, John, don't you think last season, if we have this game that's 63-33 at halftime, the Bulls lose by 30 or 40?
50, yeah, yes, absolutely. And so, and you knew that wasn't. We know we have a borderline competent team that borderline likes each other and borderline wants to win. Like we know all of these. These are all borderlines now, which we didn't. They were unknowns last year.
True.
And so that is nice. Like that is so nice to know. And again, they have two all NBA first team players. That's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane. Including maybe arguably one of the greatest players of all time. Definitely not one. Like, he ain't one, but he's in the mix.
Right.
No, say what you mean, John. Say it, man. Don't be worried. Say it.
This isn't against this. No offense, but this is against James Harden. You know what I mean? This is against LeBron James.
Right.
And COVID.
Right.
COVID.
And this is the Lakers team that got even better in the offseason.
Oh my God.
I've heard some people in the fringes of NBA talk saying like, oh, I don't think the Lakers are as good, like just talent on paper roster wise this year that they were last year. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They added Marc Gasol, they added Montrezl Harrell, they added Dennis Schroeder. Like what?
They added 1 and 2 6 men of the year.
They're clearly better. And damn it. I'm angry right now because I didn't think that the Bulls had a great shot of winning this game. But now after this game and then 2 weeks ago, the tough loss where 80 sat out and it was a winnable game, Bulls fans have to wait another year to try to get one of those elusive little diamonds, one of those elusive little pieces of treasure that is a victory over a LeBron James team. And I hate that this quickly into the season, we're 0-2 against LeBron, and it's like, all right, well, I'll see you in 21-22, looking to get a LeBron James victory. Damn it!
Shake harder,
you guys
boy.
have won the last 3 games against Lucas. That make you feel better?
No.
He didn't play one of them.
No offense to your boy, but Luka ain't LeBron.
He'll be there. Give it time. He'll be there. He'll be in the mix. But I do feel like I think like he's. Did you think LeBron would be playing this much and this well at this age? After that's like, I can't believe he's not sitting out more. I thought for sure. Like I didn't pick him in fantasy because I was like, he won't play that much.
The Lakers didn't play last night, did they? I don't think
No.
so. So they weren't on a back-to-back. They played. Let's see, the 21st. They beat the Bucks. So that was Thursday. Yeah. So they had a day off, a day of rest, but it was kind of rough where you're trying to get a big win to keep a winning streak going against the defending champs, and it's like we talked about it a little bit during the fourth quarter. Otto Porter Jr. tonight out. Parentheses rest, and it's like, dude, you're 27. Come on.
The rest killed me. It killed me.
And it's like, hey, guess what? Turns out Otto Porter Jr. and his productivity on the court pretty important for this Bulls team winning games.
Yeah.
But LeBron's played every single game this year. He has not missed a game.
Yeah.
And I think that's crazy to me.
But he's 10 years older than Otto, but we got to make sure Otto's back isn't too sore. Like, what?
He's 10 years. 10.
Yeah, it's fast. But honestly, do you think he takes care of himself in any kind of way that LeBron James
we saw him at the club during COVID.
Right.
We saw that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, right. He's not doing the things that LeBron is doing, man.
Was it 1 million or 10 million? The dollar figure of LeBron spending on just keeping his body in peak condition during NBA season.
It was 1 million.
So yeah, some media outlet wrote a piece about that a couple years ago. It was like, oh yeah, between like cryotherapy this and ice tub that, whatever. It's like, oh yeah, LeBron spends $1 million a year on making sure his body is in peak condition. And like Adam and Stacey kind of talked about that for a while in tonight's broadcast. The whole like superstar NBA icon versus Father Time conversation, and how Father Time always wins eventually, but you saw what MJ did putting up 40-point games with the Wizards when he was in his late 30s. You saw what Kobe Bryant did in his farewell game where he's like, hell, I'm going to drop 60 tonight because I feel like it. And now seeing 18th year LeBron James, balding head LeBron James, out here playing like this. And I mean, even for LeBron haters like myself, you can't not be in awe of it.
The amount of games,
honestly,
like he goes to the finals every year. He missed the playoffs once. He didn't take. I mean, like I feel like this will be like he didn't like Jordan had the benefit of resting, like for years, like baseball, but like it was baseball, like, and I feel like I can't believe that hasn't caught up to him, and just the amount of the odometer of the amount of games he's played. That's why it's like why do you stop playing basketball? Go do other things. You've done it, man. Go paint.
What he wants, man. Like I love that. But he really takes incredible care of himself, man, and it's tremendous to see. Like they said, even after he won the finals, he was in the gym the next day.
Amazing. Like
he was trying to work out and do stuff like the very next day. Like that kind of drive and that kind of determination is why he's great. Like that's just simple as that. That's why he's great.
Double OT, guys, in Denver, Phoenix right now.
Double OT, 200 miles an hour.
200
back to back.
Not that Matt said LeBron's career can have a cigarette now. That's hilarious.
Yes, I love that.
All right, guys, we do have to talk a little bit about tonight's game.
You can vote.
Big Dave.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir. Gafford's second start in the absence of Wendell Carter Jr. You were kind of tweeting about this a little bit before tip-off tonight, saying the Bulls are going to feel Wendell's absence with AD in there.
Yeah.
AD and his presence on all three levels of that Lakers offense is a tall task. And we saw Gafford pick up 2 quick fouls. We saw, as you predicted, Cristiano Felicio minutes tonight because, God bless him for trying. Gafford had a really tough time slowing down that juggernaut Lakers offense. What did you think about Gafford tonight?
I mean, honestly, he looked like I thought he was going to look. I didn't think he was going to play well at all. The second game you start after not playing a lot, like the second game you start with, like, go against Anthony Davis and try to contain him. It's not going to happen. It's Anthony Davis. I just don't think people realize the dominance of Anthony Davis. There's nothing he can't do on the floor. What, he ended up with 37 on like 14 or 21 shooting? He was 10 of 12 in the first half. Like, in the first half, man, he's unstoppable. There's nothing he could really do. And you just try to put bodies in front of him and hope he misses shots. Because the way he shoots, man, he just looks like a guard at 7 feet tall. It's Hakeem-like, like when I watch him play. It really is. Because he's getting to that level where you're like, dang, what is his weakness? Because right now, before his weakness was mental. So I'm like, okay, now he's got a ring, and he's kind of getting over that stuff. Like, okay, now what weakness does this dude really have? Like, so you're trying to find it. But honestly, this is the game I thought that Gafford would have. I didn't want him to get in foul trouble, obviously, but I thought he would because Anthony Davis is smart. And he immediately went right at him. And as soon as he saw him leave him in after he picked up the 2 quick ones, he picked up his third one even faster. Because they was like, oh, you're going to leave him in? Oh, okay, get the ball, please, thank you. Going right back at him. So, yeah, he had the game I thought he would. It was a tough game. And, yeah, hopefully he'll play better the next game. Because he played Anthony Davis, and hopefully he learned something playing Anthony Davis, man, and how to defend and go against a juggernaut like that.
And not only Gafford doing his best to contain Anthony Davis, and let's be honest, failing, because who doesn't? The other part about tonight's game that I really liked, and by other part, I mean probably only part about tonight's game that I liked, is after a kind of strange dud game from P-Dub last night, in a win against the Hornets where he only plays like 18 minutes, and we were wondering maybe it had something to do about the fact that he still had a little bit of a sore hip or whatever that was that had him miss their previous game. He bounces back tonight with knocking down 2 of his 4 3-point attempts. Only dude on this team who could fucking make a 3-pointer. His first made 3 halfway through the third quarter was the Bulls' first made 3 on the night. But so he plays 31 minutes tonight, 13 points, 8 boards. And I got to watch P-Dub once again tonight, as we did 2 weeks ago, have some quality defensive possessions against LeBron James, but also a couple of quality defensive possessions against Anthony Davis. And it kind of showed you the range of what Patrick Williams will be able to do for this Bulls team defensively as he matures. This kid is a 19-year-old rookie. We've already run through the gauntlet of guard Giannis, guard LeBron, guard Kawhi, go guard Gordon Hayward last night. Oh, and your reward for guarding Gordon Hayward last night is, hey, tonight a couple of times we're going to ask you to check Anthony frickin' Davis. The word versatility is so, like, a lover scorned among Bulls Nation, I think, because we heard people like Gar and Pax talk about it all the time when it meant nothing. Where they're like, oh, we love this player's versatility. And it's like, do you even know what a basketball is? No. Fuck off.
Let him go, man. Let him go.
Now the versatility with a player like Patrick Williams on the defensive end means something, and we saw that tonight where he's guarding LeBron on one possession and guarding Anthony Davis on another. John, thoughts?
I mean, yes, go against, get your reps in. Get your reps in. Go to church. Eat your vegetables, take your vitamins. Like, this is what we need. This is what he needs to be. He needs to be roided out, secret of the U, Sean Marion. Like, he needs to be a mix between Amari and Marion.
Secret of the U.
Thank you. The secret. They never told us what the secret was. First of all, there's no secret of the ooze. It's just the ooze worked. The secret was out of first scene. Anyway, but I feel like this is what this is what you want him to be. You want him to leave an impact, and if you can be someone who can guard, I got you. I'll get the best player. Let's go. Like, and
yeah,
I can. People don't want to play against Kawhi Leonard. It's probably unfair of me to even bring up that name with Patrick Williams right now because I hate when people do that. Young Pip. But I do feel like if we can be someone who we don't want to play against, people won't play against us because of him. if he can bring hard times, I think I love it. So let him go baptism by fire. Get your reps in. I love it. And that was something that I looked forward to at this game.
Yeah, and I'm perfect way to say it, baptism by fire. And I think he's kind of hitting that rookie wall right now. Last game was the first game I actually saw him play like a rookie. That was the very first time I saw it. And I was like, yeah, he's 19 years old. That was the first time I realized it, Rookie. He's never played in the NBA before. This looks like it. That was the first time I saw it. So, yeah, he's going to hit that rookie wall. He's going to take his lumps. And it's just as long as he maintains and he has Coach Donovan behind him, he's going to be okay. He's going to be just fine, man. So, yeah, I'm not worried about him. The hesitation on a three-point shot I don't like because I honestly don't know where it comes from.
He has no reason to hesitate.
It's not like he –
Wendell hesitating is understandable behind the three-point line.
Mm-hmm.
P-Dub is shooting damn near 50% behind the three-point line in his rookie year. Why are you hesitating?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand where it's coming. Even the one he hit, Matt, from on the baseline, he hesitated on and then said, "Oh, you know what? I'm wide open. I think I should shoot this." And then he took the shot. And then when it went in, you saw him start shooting it a little bit more. Like, so I don't know how that confidence got zapped from him.
Or like in last night's game, he had that one in the left corner where it should have been a catch and shoot three, and he thought about it and hesitated, and then decided to drive baseline, but got caught up in a travel, which we've seen from him several times this season. And I think some of that is just a rookie, learning when and how to be confident in the right moments and not second guessing himself. Honestly, that is one of many reasons why I am just so happy that we have Billy Donovan here this season, because I think he will do a very good job of letting P-Dub know, hey man, you have this part of your game. Don't be afraid to believe in that part of your game. Shoot. When you're open behind the three-point line, shoot, because you're going to knock it down as often as you miss it. So,
Matt, I saw a question in the comments that said, why Felicio and not Luke Kornet?
Wow.
Shout out to our pal Tony Gill, who's, by the way, doing some great work over there at NBC for that Bulls Talk podcast. The most recent episode with the former Bulls insider Vinny Goodwill, now of Yahoo Sports, was very entertaining.
Yes.
But Tony Gill had a tweet tonight saying, like, I legit forgot that Luke Kornet was on this team, and I think he tweeted it right after a shot going to halftime where Kornet was just giving his teammates high fives coming to the bench at halftime. And I was like, oh, hey, there's Luke Kornet. And then Tony Gill tweeted, like, Luke Kornet's on this team. Totally forgot. And he said, Billy Donovan has not used Luke Kornet at all. What the hell did Jim Boylan see? Like, why was he getting minutes last season? And so, of course, I sarcastically replied, like, dude, Robert Horry. You got to play Robert Horry minutes. Like, he's Robert Horry. But, no. I mean, like, what if you're debating who gets minutes between Felicio and Kornet, you're talking about a game where you're down 30, so it doesn't fucking matter.
I agree. That's so funny.
That's the answer. That's the answer right there. And he's bigger and runs, and he's the perfect screen setter. So he's got to be out there.
Hey,
isn't that weird that I would choose Felicio over Kornet? Like,
we're on a plane going down, and my little individual reading light bulb and fan aren't working. Excuse me, flight attendant is like, dude, we're all gonna be dead in 4 seconds. You don't need to worry about your reading light bulb being not functioning right now.
Oh, Dark Matt is back. Oh, Dark Times Peck is back. Yes, man.
There was something very comforting when I got that Casey Johnson 30-point deficit alert tweet tonight, where I was like, yeah, this is.
Here's a question, guys. Like, if we were doing this show, knowing how good the Bulls, if we were doing Bulls Outsiders, knowing how good the Bulls have looked and how good they've been playing and all that stuff, would we still pull out the 20-point bottle for this game?
Yes.
This Saturday night.
Okay. Just asking because the team has been better, they're playing better. Like,
no,
gotcha.
20 points,
right.
20 points.
Just asking.
I mean, 20 points, 24. It's like they ain't done nothing yet. Like, Like, come on.
I'm not.
And you know what? Nothing helps better ease the pain of losing to LeBron's team by 20-plus points than just a little nip of some good scotch or some whiskey or what, pick your poison. Like John was saying about Zach LaVine last night after such a dominant offensive game. Pick your poison.
So good.
When it comes to losing to LeBron's teams by more than 20, I'm going to pick my poison, and it's probably going to have alcohol in
it. Lakina says, there's the Matt that we know and love, ladies and gentlemen.
T-Flower says, need a point guard, to be honest. Yeah,
sure do. I mean, Kobe.
Yeah,
Kobe had another kind of tough night tonight. Like he bounced back, and credit to Kobe for not quitting and to getting some good buckets and some good assists in the second half when the Bulls were drowning. So proud of him for that. But man, Kobe's first quarter was brutal. So last night we sung the praises of a Kobe-Zach backcourt that can not only score but facilitate. They had 17 assists between the two of them last night, and you're like, holy shit, that's awesome. But those are against some mediocre kind of opponents. When you go up against the best defensive team in the league, this Lakers team, and they just shut the Bulls offense down, you are offered a friendly reminder that as much as we're enjoying this Bulls offense that is reinvigorated and actually functioning under Billy Donovan's tutelage and direction, there are going to be some nights like this where you are reminded that Zach LaVine is not a true point guard and Kobe White is not a true point guard.
But Matt, everybody sucked in the first quarter. Like, I'm not going to signal Kobe White out on this one. Like, everybody was terrible. On down the line, Daniel Gafford, Lauri Markkanen, all of them sucked against this team. It wasn't just like he was the reason or he was the man, if Kobe played better, we could have had a shot at this. No, everybody was trash. Because you're playing you play teams like this to know where you stand. And you know where you stand against an elite team like this. You're not there. You're not good enough. You're not there yet. So that's all. So you move on to the next game and you just try to get better. And luckily, I can say that and mean that because we have a coaching staff now. So I know if we move on to the next game and get better, yes, we're actually going to do that. So I'm excited about that. You know what I'm saying?
My job is to teach and to grow. We're to teach, to grow. We don't hear about that anymore.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna show these guys how to win. How? By quoting "Field of Dreams."
Yeah.
Not even paraphrasing. He didn't even quote it. He paraphrased it.
You seen that movie, John?
It was, it's a movie.
You seen that movie?
Colin said, for the record, I paused my TV after the game, then came back 30 minutes later for The Outsiders.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate that, sir.
You should have stuck around for postgame because postgame's always great, but I appreciate
Does Jason Goff have an exclusive deal with turtlenecks?
Yes.
the big turtleneck just sponsor him? He's keeping them afloat.
I were you saying big turtleneck as if that was a giant
the industry
big tobacco?
Exactly,
the big turtlenecks.
Yeah, the big turtleneck industry.
Why do I have a character in my head of somebody running that?
Yeah, big turtleneck.
It's a big Seinfeld character. I don't know in my head running a turtleneck company.
That guy's keeping him. That guy's rocking him, and Jordan he's been rocking too. I love the Jordan.
I got postgame on here right now, and he is absolutely rocking the turtleneck.
Dude, I swear to God, it's like the devil made him a deal or something.
It's a bold look, and
he looks amazing.
I tell you what, I was gonna say, he pulls it off. I would never be caught wearing a turtleneck because I would not pull that look off.
You could pull that off,
Matt. If you can pull that beard off, you can pull off a turtleneck.
Pull off so many different looks.
Pulling that off, Dave.
Oh, that's me. Have you not seen? You wouldn't line it up if you weren't pulling it off, Matt. You're pulling it off. You're doing a good job.
You can pull off looks like LEWK.
Tell my mother that.
Moms don't want looks.
Oh my God,
hey, moms don't want
it was hilarious. So like my family text thread was, going back and forth during like the inauguration day, like evening festivities, like television event, right? Whatever. And my mom was like, "Hey, did you see that Lin-Manuel Miranda part? Like, yeah, he's got a nice little like goatee thing, but it doesn't hang down off his chin. Think about it."
Yeah, sorry, I'm not Lin.
Sorry, I'm not Lin-Manuel Miranda, Ma. Sorry. Come on. Also, we need to do a side podcast episode breaking down the rankings of Hamilton numbers. Which just made, I just thought of that because Big Dave, you tweeted that list at me and John the other day.
Yeah. Dude, it was a good list.
It was good. Honestly, it was good.
I still think the cabinet battle.
It's a ranking. You're always
the cabinet battle should be top 20.
The rankings, no, it's always going to piss people off, but I think it was pretty good. I think the top 4 were solid.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. Honestly, I thought it was well done.
All right, guys, we'll get out of here and let everybody enjoy the rest of their weekends. The Bulls are back in action on Monday against the Celtics. Hopefully for real this time. We already had the Celtics postponed once in that game from last week. So hopefully the Bulls will get back in that win column and try to get another step closer to what they failed to do tonight, which is get back to 500 on the season. In the meantime, enjoy your weekends. Let's hope for a Packers loss tomorrow for all of you football fans out there. Appreciate all of you tuning in for us. And just a reminder, again, if you ever miss these Outcast streams live on Hot Mic, you can catch the archived episodes on that BAWL on Bulls YouTube channel, as well as that podcast feed. So,
hey, shout out my man Mike, who up in here, man. What up, Mike? Thanks for coming up in here, dog.
Also, shout out to our boy Dan Vega over there at NBC. Producer extraordinaire. Love you, buddy. Miss you. Appreciate you. For John Sabine and Big Dave Watson, I'm Matt Peck. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen. The Bulls will try again on Monday. Peace out.